let it rip. Now I'ma let it hit. I'ma come at them with skills, make them wanna quit. Best believe I'm set to win. If you tested me, you better think again. Let it rip. Now I'ma let it hit. I'ma come at them with skills, make them wanna quit. Best believe I'm set to win. If you tested me, you better think again.
Hey everyone, this is going to be a video on how to kill Gravekeepers in this meta. This is requested by you guys, obviously. And before I start showing you a few cards, I want to go over what I see as Gravekeeper's biggest strengths right now. One of the biggest strengths right now is their field card. First of all, the field card is easily searchable. Terraforming, Commandant, or Commandant, whatever you want to call them, I don't care. You know, the guy you ditch and search, you know, any one of those, you can search it real fast, plop it down, you know, bam, you have it instantly. Now, when it's on the field, it does a plethora of things. First thing it does, it makes all your Gravekeepers bamf. You know, plus 500 attack and plus 500 defense, you can't really, like, not love that. It makes all your guys, like, 2 grand beat sticks, or like 2,500 grand, or 2,500 defense. So, I mean, it's pretty beast. Second of all, it locks off the grave. Now, that's amazing right now in today's format, because there's a lot of decks that play off the grave. So if you lock that grave off, then the decks who play off the grave are like, oh, crap. You know, cuts off Monster Reborn plays, cuts off Pot of Avarice plays, cuts off all those plays. So it's good for that. The next thing it's good for is Royal Tribute. Now, you all know what this card does. It's a complete sack card. It says when you control Necker Valley, you can play this card from your hand and win the game. No, that's not what it says. But in a lot of situations, that's what it does. It says when you control Necker Valley, you can play this card from you can activate this card. Both players discard all monsters in their hand to the graveyard. Now, that is amazingly broken for you, because you can go set a monster, set 3 back rows, Royal Tribute. Now, from this, not only do you get rid of all their monsters, but you get to see their entire hand too. That's something Royal Tribute does. Completely broken, so they lose all their monsters, and you go, oh, I see everything you have. By the way, I'll just show you one card, you know, unless you don't have anything left, which is actually happens a lot. Then you'd be like, oh, I don't show you nothing, but I see your entire hand, all your monsters go away. So it's really broken. Like, it gives you so much advantage, it's not even kidding. I mean, you play that one card, discard 3 monsters, that's a +2 right there, and then you see every card in their hand and you can foretell what they're gonna do. That's like a +5 right there. I mean, you're like 3 or 4 steps ahead of them now in gameplay. It's just so advantageous. So I think that's their biggest oomph thing that gives them games. Without their field card and without Royal Tribute, without those two, Gravekeepers are very limited. And Gravekeeper players, don't get me wrong, you play a good deck, you guys are smart, but you gotta admit, if you lost Necker Valley and Royal Tribute, that'd make your time so much harder, because you'd lose attack, you'd lose defense, you'd lose the grave lock off ability, you'd lose a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. I'm gonna show you these cards on my camera like I've done before in the past. I'm not gonna do it with my I'm not gonna do it in real life, because I don't have these. I have these cards somewhere, but I have no idea where. A lot of these I sold off, or they're just like commons and rares, and if you think I'm digging through like 10,000 commons, you can forget it. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Alright everyone, how's it going? It's DaGadgetGuru. Okay, these are some of the cards I wanted to show you on basically how to kill the meta right now of Gravekeepers. First one is Rainbow. I've heard a lot of names, Rainbow, you know, a lot of different names, it doesn't matter, but Rain, Overlord of Dark World. Now, his text says that this card is discarded from the hand to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, aka Royal Tribute. Special summon this card. If this card is special summoned this way, destroy all monsters or all spell and traps your opponent controls. That means when they go, first turn they go set 3, set a monster, Necker Valley, boom, Royal Tribute. You go, okay, I play a 2,500 beat stick and I nuke all your spell and traps. So you have one defending monster, which is probably a spy, but you have one face down monster and nothing else. I just completely ruined your entire game advantage. This card I've seen this card completely overwhelm Gravekeepers. Like, I mean, drop this card, Gravekeepers look at you and go, oh shit. I mean, he's really that broken. So he's one of the most broken cards for Gravekeepers. You can tribute from normally. You could sack 2 creatures to tribute from normally, but you don't want to. I mean, this is the card this is the kind of card you save, and it's insurance against Royal Tribute. If they want to be a smart person and go, look, top deck Royal Tribute, awesome. Because when Gravekeepers play a top deck Royal Tribute, I'm not gonna lie, they top deck it and just play it. Like, they just boom play Royal Tribute, and you're like, yeah, you know what? no, forget this. You know, and you tribute him, or you don't tribute him, but you discard him, and then they read his effect, and they're like, oh, well, that just effed myself over. So he's one of the best options against Gravekeepers right now. Another one, Gold. Gold, Wu Lord of Dark World. He's the same thing. When he's discarded from your hand to the graveyard by a card effect, special summon him. When this card is discarded from the hand to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, choose 2 cards on your opponent's field and destroy them. So he destroys any 2. So you could destroy their monster in a back row, you could destroy the field card in a back row, you could destroy any 2 you want to, and he's a 2300 beater. And this guy, he was reprinted as a gold rare, he's been reprinted as a common, he's been reprinted as a super, he's been reprinted 100 times, so it's not hard to find this card. So yeah, this card is easy to find. Rainbow is about $9 for the ultra rare. He was also printed as a ultimate, and that's about $15, so he's a little expensive. This guy, he's really cheap. Like, I mean, really cheap, like $1. So I mean, he's not a hard option to get. So this is an option you may want to consider. Again, Royal Tribute, it punishes them for using Royal Tribute, which is one of their best cards. Now, getting rid of their field card is kind of hard, because if you get rid of it, they'll just, Gravekeeper Stelly command it back and discard them to get another one. But with this card, Closed Forest, it's a whole nother story. Closed Forest says all face-up beast-type monsters you control gain 100 attack for each monster in your graveyard. That doesn't matter. You don't care about that. Field spell cards cannot be activated while this card is face-up on the field. That means when you play this card, it blows up their Necro Valley, and they cannot activate a new Necro Valley on top of this card. They just can't. And then it also says field spell cards cannot be activated the turn this card is destroyed. So even if they MST, they cannot play Necro Valley that turn. So they MST and they just sit there and go, okay, your turn, you go play another Closed Forest. It's so broken. And it is a field card, so you can terraforming it yourself. I mean, it's just an amazing card. It is $30 because it's a game promo, so not exactly a cheap option, but it's a very good option in my opinion. Lastly, another really good option, I've actually seen this, ironically, I've seen this win games against Gravekeepers, is Black Garden. Now you're thinking, why Black Garden? What the heck? Well, when you summon a monster, its attack and defense are halved. Now, what that means is when you summon Recruiter, he's a 750, and the opponent automatically gets an 800 level 2 plant token, which means your Recruiter just became useless. At best, if you summon a command it, you can match the attack and defense of their tokens. I mean, this card is honestly really good. It's a $3 card, so it's not expensive, not hard to get. And basically, what you do, a lot of decks that run this are plant decks, that synchro a lot, so they don't have to worry about this too much. But this is a really good option if you run anti-meta, because you can deal with just little 800s. You don't care. You've got the fissures and the deep prisons and everything to protect them and just keep ramming your opponent's life points with them. Your opponent isn't used to that. Your opponent is used to having big beat sticks that they can run over you with. So this card really punishes them. These 4 cards are the best in my opinion. They're the best way to kill the GK deck as it is. Now, a lot of people ask me why I don't recommend stuff like Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. And the reason I don't recommend Shadow Imprisoning Mirror is it's not that good. Like, you get rid of their effects, fine. I'll go with you for this. You get rid of their effects with Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, but then what? What do you do after that? You don't do anything. That's the issue. Like, they're still big-ass beatsticks. And lastly, the last card I want to show you guys, possibly the most broken ever, is Consecrated Light. This is my favorite for killing GKs. Now, if you know what this little guy does, I'll show you right here. Neither player can normal summon or special summon dark monsters or declare attacks with dark monsters. Which means when you play this guy, 99% of their monsters in their deck pretty much are just locked off. Like, it's just so amazing. The only thing they can play anymore is Command It. That's all. Like, that's it. You can summon Command It, but that's all. And if you're running anti-meta, go ahead, summon a Command It. I'll Solemn Warning his ass all day long and wreck your deck. This card is honestly amazing. It's a 0/0. And even better, it's a common. It costs like, here it costs $2, which is ridiculous in my opinion. I've got like 10 of them, but, I mean, still, it's the price for the card. But this card also wrecks Gravekeepers really hard. So, there's 5 good options to wreck Gravekeepers with. Take them how you will. Like I said, Black Guardian and Consecrated Light are really good for anti-meta decks. For the rest of you, you may want to consider Closed Forest, Gold, or Rain. So, that's about it.